Okay. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. Lots of big COVID news that we are going to go through today. It's great to see you guys. As always, this is some of my favorite times of the week to spend with you guys talking about COVID and whatever else we need to talk about. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. I'm a practicing family physician. I'm also an on-air health expert and video creator. I do daily videos on all sorts of stuff, you name it, from seeing your doctor, how to see your doctor, cancer signs and symptoms, you name it. A video I did yesterday was on how to swallow pills properly. That one's doing quite well, so I'm glad you guys like that. And of course, my COVID video. So welcome to everybody. It's great to see you. So if you didn't know who I am, that is who I am. So let's actually get started. Lots of important information to discuss today. All right. By the way, just a quick announcement before we start. Many of you have been saying that you've not been getting notifications for my lives or for my groups or things like that. I don't know what's going on with Facebook or YouTube. Just try to make sure that you've hit get notifications. Make sure you've liked and followed my page or subscribed to my channel. That way, as best as possible, we can make sure you get notifications. All right. Also, there's a pinned comment on Facebook to all of my groups. Also in YouTube, there is a post in the description. You can join my group called I Got the COVID Vaccine. A lot of you guys are getting the COVID booster. It's very exciting to see all of you and so many of you getting the booster. And it's really, really awesome. I have family members that are getting the booster too. So you can write in to the group, let us know that you've gotten your vaccine, your booster, what have you, so we can shout you out, give you a high five, all that good stuff. All right, so let's talk about the news of the day, right? Let's first start by talking about California. We're going to focus today on California mandating the COVID vaccine for their students. We're also going to talk about Merck's COVID pill, which, guys, that's a big deal. That's a huge deal, something I'm super excited about. So starting out with California, basically, this is also a game changer. We have seen that many universities and colleges have mandated the COVID vaccine. We have seen many companies doing this as well. But this is the first state. California is the first state that we have seen mandating the COVID vaccine for their students. That's right. That's students in public and private schools. It's a big deal because what they're doing is this is making the COVID vaccine just like and on par with the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, the tetanus vaccine, hepatitis vaccine, varicella, chickenpox, all of the vaccines that your kids need to get anyway to go to schools. Now the COVID vaccine is being made sort of a part of that group as a mandated requirement. Now I've got my other phone, so I'm going to start pulling up your comments just to see what you guys are saying, what your thoughts are. But I know some of you are going to say, well, what about people who can't get the vaccine? What about people who have certain conditions, medical exemptions, and religious exemptions? The state, of course, is taking this into account. There are always exceptions, really, to any rule. We know this. It sounds like the state will be. I actually have this written down. They'll be having and holding a public rulemaking process, I guess, to discuss, determine, deal with established medical, religious exemptions, things like that. So there is a process for that. Also, what they say is that the vaccines will be rolled out sort of in a certain way. So first of all, will be the 7th through the 12th graders would be required to get the vaccine because, of course, we know it's approved. Pfizer's approved for 16 and above and has the emergency use authorization for 12 to 15 right now. We're waiting for the little ones to be able to get approved, ages 5 to 11. So we're still waiting for that. So the idea is that the 7th and 12th through 12th graders would be required to be vaccinated first. And then K through 6 would be required. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the young ones just don't have an approved vaccine right now. The idea, according to news sources, is that this would start in July 2022. So that's a year away. That's not that far away. So this is really, really important. I mean, oh, and the last thing I want to say about this too. So for those who are unvaccinated, so what would the schools do for those people who are unvaccinated? According to news sources, they would have some form of independent study or something like that. So, I mean, look, again, I think this is big because we've seen this with colleges and universities. We have not yet seen this with public schools, private schools. We've seen this with companies. This COVID vaccine situation is the mandates are spreading. You know, I did videos and we talked about, you know, a couple months ago, did we think that the COVID vaccine was going to become mandatory and mandated? I have to say, I am happy about how much and how the sort of the quick pickup of the mandatory nature of this vaccine and how widespread that's come. The more that it is made mandated, the more people will be protected, and the more our companies and businesses will be able to function and stay and work. The more people will stay healthier, the more schools and better schools will stay open. And remember, this is not an issue of whether the vaccine is safe, right? So the vaccine is safe. That's been established. It is effective. That's been established. So since we've established that, it makes sense for people to need to get it, just like we've established the safety and efficacy for other vaccines, the flu shot, measles, mumps, and rubella, chickenpox, et cetera. We require those for the same reason that we should also be requiring this as well. So, guys, that is something to look out for. I will keep you updated with more information as that, sort of unfolds and rolls out. Yeah, big deal. And let's now move a little bit to, let's move to Merck. This is a game changer. I did a video on the concept of a pill for COVID. I did this video actually a few days before the details from Merck's announcement came out. When I first read that there are companies, and there are multiple companies that are looking into a pill for COVID, I literally was like, this is awesome. There are some concepts that I sort of need a little bit of buy-in for, that I need to say, okay, let me think about this. This one automatically, I'm like, no, this could be a game changer. And the concept and the reason why is because, look, we have antiviral medications for other disease states. We have antiviral medications for herpes, herpes up here, cold sores, and also down there, genital herpes. We also have antivirals for hepatitis. We have antivirals for HIV. We have antivirals for you name it. We actually have an antiviral for COVID. That's remdesivir, right? We have an antiviral already, which, by the way, is that's the class of medication that Merck is talking about here. It's an antiviral. That's the class, the category. Remdesivir is a medication. You say, well, then why are you so excited about this antiviral? Well, remdesivir, the antiviral we already have, is a medication that can only be used for hospitalized patients. So it's for a very specific population. It is not for you and I if we are not in the hospital. So that leaves out a lot of people who could benefit from an antiviral. The big deal about Merck's announcement is that, number one, we are talking about a pill for COVID, a pill antiviral medication for COVID. A pill changes the game. It means that someone can take this on their own in their home. They don't have to be hospitalized. The treatments we have for COVID right now are remdesivir. We also have monoclonal antibodies, which are wonderful, but number one, they're expensive. Number two, you have to go to an infusion center. You have to go to a hospital facility or a hospital-like facility to even get them. It's not something you can take on your own or just do. So that's why this is so important, guys. This really is important. So these are the details of the press release from Pfizer. From Merck. Okay, this is Merck. And what Merck says is basically they had started a trial. And in the trial of this antiviral medication to see if it could help COVID, basically the people in the trial were people who had mild to moderate symptoms of COVID, and they were at risk for progression or being hospitalized with COVID. They were not in the hospital, and they were given these pills to see if it would work compared to people in the same sort of profile who were given a placebo or sort of like a water pill, sugar pill, so to speak. What they found is that the people who took the pill had a decreased risk of needing to go to the hospital or dying from the COVID that they had been infected by 50%. Compared to those who took the sugar pill, the water pill, the placebo. That's huge, 50%. And in fact, those results were and I haven't seen the data. I mean, this is by press release, which has been happening more and more during COVID. So they release this information through a press release. But guys, this is huge because 50% reduction, these results were so good that the researchers actually stopped the study early. Sometimes when a study shows such a profound impact, it becomes unethical to continue and deprive some people in the study of getting the drug or the thing being studied. Sometimes you can see early on that, hey, this medication, this drug is so good, it's so wonderful, and it's working so well that it actually becomes unethical to keep enrolling people in the study, of which some of them don't get that drug. So they stopped it and they said, hey, look, this is amazing. They're actually going to go ahead and submit an application for emergency use authorization to the FDA. Let me tell you how this could possibly change things. And like I said, there are other companies working on it. And on a pill for COVID. The idea is, and we would still have to find out all the indications, right? But I guess theoretically, if you had mild to moderate, well, I can't actually tell you who would be indicated for because we haven't been given that yet. But the idea, though, is that if you had COVID symptoms, someone, okay, based on whatever criteria that they establish, you could take this pill at home in the comfort of your own home and lower your risk of being hospitalized or dying from COVID. See, that's what we really care about with COVID, right? We care about people getting it, but we care more about people dying from it and being hospitalized with it. That's what we care more about. So if we can keep people from doing that, and by the way, that's what monoclonal antibodies do, but it's kind of hard to get them. You have to go to an infusion center. It's an IV. You can't do it at home. You can't call something like that into the pharmacy. You see? So you see why this matters is that being able to treat someone as an outpatient and not have to go to the hospital, get treatment that lowers their risk of being hospitalized and dying. That's amazing. The course of treatment that they used in the study was they took 4 capsules twice a day. So 8 capsules a day total, 4 in the morning, 4 in the evening for 5 days. So a total of 40 pills. And interestingly enough, the U.S. government has placed advanced orders for 1.7 million courses of treatment of this already. I think this is a really, really big deal. And honestly, I say the sooner that we can get something approved, get the data, make sure, of course, that it's safe and effective. We know who it could be used for. The other thing is, could this be used as prophylaxis? Meaning, if you came in contact with someone who had COVID, but maybe you don't have it, could you take something like this to prevent you from getting it? That's also another question. Again, we have to find out who this would be approved for, assuming it's going to be approved. But guys, this is like pretty major. And the good thing is that there are other companies working on drugs as well. So hopefully this gives us more options and it gives us more medications to use for people. Talk about amazing. This is especially important in light of the fact that we have 700,000 Americans that have died from COVID. We've got close to 1 million people who've died. We need to stop that number. We need to slow that down. And there is some good news in that it seems like in some places, some cases are slowing down, which is great. But this is what we want. We need to keep people alive. This would also increase access for countries throughout the world too, right? How much easier would it be to give somebody a pill than to try to get IV treatment to people in different places? I should also say that this does not replace vaccination. So just so that we're clear, this doesn't mean you don't have to get vaccinated. Vaccines and this antiviral, they work 2 different ways. Vaccines work to hopefully prevent you from getting COVID, and then reduce your risk of being hospitalized and dying from it as well. It doesn't take the place of that. This would, if you had COVID, mild to moderate COVID at increased risk, would sort of do what monoclonal antibodies do, which is to kind of further that risk of hospitalization and death. Okay, so that's what we want. There is a little bit of overlap there, but it does not replace vaccination. We want people to get vaccinated. But guys, maybe this is another way out of this. As somebody wrote in an article I read, it sort of is another tool in our toolkit for this fight against COVID. So I definitely think this is really important. I think this is excellent. And I'm so excited and just like literally keeping my fingers crossed for this. Let me just take a few comments and sort of see who we got here on Facebook. Thank you so much for the stars. I so appreciate you. It's good to see you. On YouTube, I see you guys, Renee, Sylvia, Tony, Dennis, Yvonne, Liv, Rhonda, just a few of you guys who popped in to say hello, and there are others. It's great to see you guys. Make sure that you join my group called I Got the COVID Vaccine. This is a group that I have on Facebook. The group is a place for you to share your vaccine stories for those of you who are getting the booster, for those of you who are getting your first dose. Share your pictures, share your stories. Let us high five you and welcome you to team vaccination. Hold on, I'm just plugging in my phone because the battery is dying just a little bit. Hold on. Sorry guys about this. The other thing is, as I mentioned in the beginning of the live, just want to remind you guys to make sure you hit get notifications both on YouTube and on Facebook. A number of people have told me they haven't gotten notifications for my lives lately, so just sort of make sure you do that because I don't want you to miss anything. Let's see here. Let's see here. Samantha, you're asking, is the Johnson & Johnson vaccine a good one to take? Yes, it is a good one to take. There are risks and benefits potentially to all vaccines, so just make sure you chat with your doctor. But these are good vaccines. Also, by the way, the person who just asked that reminds me that there is going to be upcoming hearings by the CDC to discuss possibilities of Moderna boosters and all sorts of things. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll find out more about whether we can mix or match boosters with the vaccine we got, all that good stuff. Okay. Let's see here. Suzanne, you said, love my fingernails. Thank you. Let me see if I can find this polish. I sometimes keep it here. Yeah, it's actually right here. So every now and then, I don't always do my nails. I do them myself. I don't actually get them done because it's like therapeutic for me, but and I keep them at my when I'm watching TV, just because it's something to do. Anyway, it's a Sally Hansen. What's the color? Grape Gatsby. Sally Hansen Grape Gatsby, just drugstore. Anyway, I love it too, right? It's kind of fun. So thank you for that. Let's see here. What else we got? I'm reading your comments. Judith Clark Dixon. Hello. Good evening. How are you doing? Well, I'm doing okay. I had honestly, it was kind of a weird day today. I worked all day long. And then literally I had a 3-hour meeting for my department today. And literally as soon as I turned off the Zoom, I crashed. I fell asleep for 2 hours on my couch, knocked out. Didn't even know. I woke up and I was like, you know how you wake up and you're like, where am I? What day is it? What time is it? Shambliss, you say you're glad to have vaccines and now antiviral medications coming out. I agree. Rod, you're on YouTube. Hello, welcome. Let's see here. Ellsperth, you're watching from South Africa. Well, welcome to you. Welcome. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Claudette, you said you finally took your first vaccine today. So far, you're feeling okay. Well, congratulations on your first vaccine. And that reminds me of my favorite time during the lives. If you have gotten your COVID vaccine or the booster, put in the comments that you have. Put your favorite emoji in the comments. Let us know you got your vaccine or your booster, so we can also sort of high five you. This is really important. Nikisha, you're fully vaccinated, about to get your booster next week. You have an underlying medical condition. Well, I'm so glad that you're getting it. Let's take a peek here. Let's see. Faye, you said, hi, Dr. Jen. Love your good information on everything you talk about. And no, you don't talk too much. You're informative. Thank you. You guys know how I'm self-conscious about talking too much, because a lot of people are like, you talk too long. Takes too long for you to get to the point. I'm like, sorry. All right. Let's see here. All right. And also, guys, that's the other thing, too, is that recently the CDC came out with a urgent warning advising pregnant women. I did a video on this yesterday. Pregnant women, breastfeeding women, women who are about to be or intending to become pregnant, women who may become pregnant should get the COVID vaccine. Only 31% of pregnant women are vaccinated, but we know that pregnant women have an increased risk of hospitalization, 70% increased risk for hospitalization over non-pregnant women. That's really, really important, guys. Remember, being pregnant is a high-risk state. So please, if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, all that stuff, please get your vaccines. Tell your friends who are pregnant, breastfeeding, all that good stuff to get the vaccine. Natural Realist Shara, you're asking where to find the I Got the COVID vaccine page. For those of you who are on Facebook, there's a pinned comment. So go right beneath the picture of my video. It should be that there's a comment box that has the links to all my groups. There's also the Healthy Living with Dr. Jen group on Facebook, where I talk about things other than COVID. And then also my Dr. Jen Superstars group, which a number of you said you want to join. That's my subscription group. We are a tight-knit group. I do special lives for this group every Wednesday night. We are friends. And once we actually once COVID gets to a better place, we're actually probably going to do an in-person meeting, which would be great, because people are literally from all over the world. So join that group if you're interested. On YouTube, I have subscription groups as well. And then for those on YouTube, in the comments of this video, I have the link to the I Got the COVID vaccine group, which you can join on Facebook. So, okay, what else we got? Abdi, love you, doctor. Well, love y'all back. Robert, hello from Trinidad and Tobago, excuse me. Hello. Carol, thank you for sending stars. You're watching from Australia. It's good to see you. Let's see here. Who is there? Natural Realist Charles, you just asked me a question. You got both Pfizer in Bahamas. You're almost 2 weeks post-vaccinated, so you're almost there. Yay. Norma, you're from Connecticut. I love this. Liv on YouTube, your family is all done with their vaccines, including your autistic teen. I'm So happy to see that. Congratulations, Liv and your family. Beverly, hello on YouTube. Welcome. Kenneth Carroll, hi. You're watching. Okay, let's see here. So Greenfield, you ask, Doctor, can you elaborate on what the vaccine is made of so we can know what's going on in our body? Yeah, I actually did an article about that. And I actually posted that. Let me see if I can pull that up, to be honest with you. You know what I'll do? This is what I'm going to do. Oh, let me tell you the best way to find that article. Why don't you go to my website, drjencaudle.com. By the way, if you guys haven't visited my website, please do. I do a free health newsletter, and you can subscribe at the top of that. Just go to Dr. Jen Caudle. But on my website, there's a section called blog. And on the blog drop-down box, you can see an article that says, what are the ingredients of the COVID vaccine? So that's probably the easiest way to do it. I was trying to figure out how to post it in the comments, but I think I'm probably going to lose you if I try to do that. Wendelin, you're watching from Los Angeles. You got your booster 2 days ago. Whoop, whoop. I'm so glad you did. Let's see here. You guys are asking how many vaccinated versus unvaccinated people have died. Well, let me tell you this. Most of the people in the hospital and dying are unvaccinated, okay? I'm wondering if that's coming from some social media, something. Usually when I get lots of questions about the same thing, there's usually some, false viral post that's roaming around. Remember that the people who are predominantly getting COVID and becoming ill with it are those without the vaccine. The vaccine is not spreading COVID. You'll probably see some memes and crazy things on social media. It is false. The vaccine is not making you, it's not making you sick. It's not making you have COVID. It's the unvaccinated people who are getting COVID and getting the sickest. Okay. All righty, Samantha, just like how you talk, very informative. You learned so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. That means a whole lot. June Munoz, you're watching from the Philippines. Well, hello in the Philippines. Hi. Good to see you guys. You guys are like the most, you guys are like the biggest, emotional support people, self-esteem boosters in the whole universe. Man, do I love you. Shoot. Thelma, you said you just told someone who's pregnant to please get vaccinated. She said she doesn't believe in vaccines. She said she nor any of her children have ever been vaccinated. Oh, prayers for her. Sending prayers for her. Yeah, that's a tough one, So, well, you know what? We do the best that we can. And I thank God for all of you guys who are, what we say, kind of preaching the good word and fighting the good fight. Sylvia, your husband is finally fully vaccinated. We're so happy with that. So anyway, we'll pass on all of this good news. There's a lot to be hopeful for, even though we have lost so many people from COVID. There's still a lot of good that can happen. And like I always say, we will get through this pandemic together. Once again, check the pinned comment on Facebook, join my group so that you can, make sure you stay in touch with me because I do like to know what's going on with you. If you haven't commented in the description that you've gotten your vaccine or your family or friends has, please do. And drjencaudle.com to sign up for my free health newsletter and check out my blog post. I'll try to post it later on tonight though too, because I think that's important. Anyway, guys, I love y'all dearly. You're amazing. As the weather starts getting cooler, we are going into our second fall of COVID. Who knew that we would be here still, but we are. We'll get through this, as I always say. Anyway, I love y'all. Hang in there, okay? Bye. Bye, YouTube. Love y'all.